Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Vera. I am going to talk to you guys today about my cosmetology journey and the process and all of that good stuff. I don't want to waste any time, so let's jump right on in. Okay, so when I was looking for schools, I only had maybe 3 to choose from, and I believe it was Grabber, Paul Mitchell, Elaine Stevens, and maybe one other one. We don't have any Aveda schools in my area to my knowledge, so yeah. I didn't really want to go to Elaine Stevens because I heard very mixed to bad reviews about that school. I will say I did not tour the school, I did not visit, so those reviews were naturally just by hearsay. I didn't see anything myself. So yeah, I decided to go to Paul Mitchell. They have 2 options. You can either go Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 5, or you can go Tuesday through Thursday from 9:30 to 8. Now with the Monday through Friday program, it's 11 months, and with the Tuesday through Thursday, it's 12 months because you're only there for 30 hours a week versus 35. And how my particular school operates is each month a different class will start. So say January, a Monday through Friday class will start, then February a Tuesday through Thursday class will start, and they just rotate. And each starting class is called a core. So when I started, my core was core 110. You know, that just kind of, I guess when I've noticed, like with Paul Mitchell, they'll ask, oh, what core were you in? And so that kind of gives people an idea of when you started the program. And since we're on the topic of core, the program consists of 3 different stages. The first one is core, which is the first, I believe, 6 weeks of the program, and you're just in a classroom. You do some doll work, and again, that's all just in your classroom with one learning leader. That's what the teachers are called, learning leaders. But you're in a classroom with one learning leader, and yeah, you do everything on your doll, on each other. On Fridays we had product knowledge, so whoever was in charge of that would come in and we would talk about different products, different ingredients, talk about the background of Paul Mitchell and how they got started, since they sold products before they started the school program. And so after that you have Protege. And Protege, I think, only lasts for 3 weeks, and it's just like a transition between core and the next step. And before you start Protege, you have your core exam and your core practical. My core exam was 100 questions, and the practical we had to style 1 woman and we had to cut 1 man's hair. And it wasn't really like a pass or fail. It was more so they just wanted to see where you were in terms of the practical, like where you were, what you've learned and stuff like that. No one that I know of like failed their core practical, so I can't even really tell you what would happen if you did that bad on a practical. But anyway, once you get into Protege, you have like 2 weeks where you can invite friends and family in for free to get services except for cutting or coloring. And after Protege, once you get to the next stage, which is adaptive, you're at that stage for, I don't know like the exact time frame, because I think it varies. At our school, I believe you move on to the phase after adaptive with your course. So depending on how many days of school you miss or how many events you work, you might have more or less hours than the student in your core, and you guys are starting the next phase together. So approximately, that's not making any sense. I feel like I'm rambling, but you are an adaptive until you're at about 850 hours. After that, you go on to the creative phase, which just means you're taking more appointments. So once you're an adaptive, you're on the floor, you're taking appointments. If you don't have an appointment, you're in the learning zone, which is just an area where you're doing stuff on your doll head, or you're doing things on the computer, or not your computer, but I mean, I bring my computer, but your tablet. Like, you can watch hair cutting videos. They have 3 different apps. You get the makeup app, the color app, and the cutting app. So you can work on an app. Every month we have Master of the Month, where the chairman of Paul Mitchell interviews some sort of business mentor person. So we do that once a month. And yeah, so for adaptives, we have, okay, so for both adaptives and creatives, you have theory on Thursday and specialty on Wednesday. So what that means is you're just working in your Milady book, and you go over different diseases for skin, scalp, nails, whatever. You talk about different perming processes, cutting. This is like everything, the meat and bones of like all the information that you'll learn that's not hands-on. And on Wednesdays, it's the specialty portion. So at our school, I believe we rotate. So we'll have nail specialty, color, cutting, texture, which is like maybe kinky hair one day, or like a twist or a different braiding style or something like that. We do not do extensions at our school, so that's not something you will learn. As far as dreads go, we do like start dreads and retwist them, but you kind of have to just learn that. We haven't had a class or any formal training on dreads or anything. From what I've learned, a lot of stuff you're gonna have to learn on your own even after you graduate. It's gonna be really up to you to, you know, gain that information and that knowledge and practicing outside of school. So adaptives have, that's any student that's under the 750 hours that are no longer in core or are proteges. They have classes in the afternoon after 1:30, and creatives have their specialty and theory classes in the mornings. And if you're not in class, you're either in the learning zone or you have an appointment. And yeah, so you're creative once you get to 850 hours until you graduate, which for the state of Missouri is 1,500 hours. And yeah, once you get to creative phase, the creative portion though, you have like this final phase when they prep you and you do like mock state board exams and stuff like that. Yeah, as far as the worksheets go, once you're in protege, you get like a little protege worksheet, which kind of introduces you into how things are going to start going. Each month you get a worksheet. So right now I'm at like 760 something hours. So my worksheet looks like this. And as you can see, they give you different things to do, and each thing is worth so many hours, and per the state board we have to do so many things for so many hours. So you have like a single process color, double process color, haircut, scalp treatment, blow dry with curling irons, Marcel stuff, updo styles, different type of braids. Yeah, and we have different evaluations. We diagram haircuts, which I think is really neat, which also brings me to what we get in our when you start the school. So when you start, you get a tablet, you get your Milady book, and then we also get skill cards, which mine are raggedy, but this is what the skill cards look like. Oh, that's not. I'm missing the first page, I guess. I'm confused. The cutting system. I'm missing the first page, but this is the skill cards we get. So it goes over different cutting, coloring, perming, and styling techniques. Like when we cut, we have to diagram. So this is what diagramming looks like, which I'm sure you can like Google hair cutting diagrams. But we get our kit, and this is what the kit looks like. It's huge. Oh, I'm strong. So I'll show you what's in there in another video, because I don't want this video to be super long anyway. So, not that I don't think many people care, but you get like a 30-minute lunch break and 2 15-minute breaks at our school. But yeah, so it's basically like a job, but you're just not getting paid. Speaking of pay, I think the school where I live, it costs about $22,000. You can use financial aid, or you might have to take out loans or just pay out of pocket. And yeah, if you pay out of pocket, it's just a monthly payment of like $1,500 or something around there. I don't really know. But you also get a cool shirt, and we have to wear per the state rules that we have to wear our little name badge that they give us, and it'll have your first and last name with your student number. But then you also have to put your student license in there, which that's something else you'll have to apply for when you first sign up and fill out your application and go through the interview process for the school. You will get a student license to practice hair on other people. One of the main reasons why I chose it was because of all the different networking opportunities, and also because of the atmosphere. So there's a Be Nice or Else club, there's a Stuco. It's literally like a high school, but whatever. So there's a Stuco, there's Be Nice or Else, there's a pet club, there's a take-home team, which it kind of gets you familiar with inventory, product inventory, setting up displays, and that type of stuff. Yeah. And we have powwows every Tuesday morning, which is like a big school assembly where the entire school meets together in one room, and they go over announcements, upcoming events, anything that we would need to know, or you know, anything like that is going on in powwow. And they also have a system called facing, which I should know what it means, and it's sad that I can't tell you right now, but I'll put it up there or up there somewhere. But you're basically acknowledging either yourself or someone else for doing something nice, doing something out of the ordinary, stepping outside of their comfort zone, just something that's noteworthy and worth acknowledging. That's what you do when you face someone. We have pancakes on Tuesdays, only when a new course starts. So that's like at the beginning of the month, we'll have a pancake and egg breakfast. Also, they offer different classes like extra that you can pay for. Like you can pay to get certified in lash extensions. These classes are not taught by actual Paul Mitchell staff, but more so like affiliates or associates. Like if there are different stylists and educators that work with Paul Mitchell, they will go around the schools and, you know, teach additional classes that students can pay for out of pocket or use like financial aid money to pay for. So we've had, like, for instance, we've had a class by Popular Nobody. Stephen Lightfoot is having a class. We've also had multiple speakers come in, like Dean Banowitz, who is, I don't know if he does hair or makeup, or he does, I don't know if he does both. I know he does, I think he may do some makeup, but I think he primarily does hair for like America's Got Talent, So You Think You Can Dance, X Factor. He's done so many different projects, but it's just so cool that we get these opportunities to meet these people, hear their stories, learn techniques from people that are actually somewhere and have made it. It's a really nice experience. And again, that was like my #1 reason for choosing Paul Mitchell, was just because of those extra opportunities and the extra step that they take to help you get further along in your career. You have to clock in and clock out like you're at work, but you're not getting paid. You do get tips from clients whenever you do their hair, so that's nice. You get, at my school, you do get a discount on products and tools being a student. I think the discount's anywhere from 20 to 50%. And you can also go to professional beauty supply stores like Salon Service Group, Cosmo Pro. I'm not really sure what other locations, you know, just other cities, what professional salon level supply stores are out there, but the ones around here are the Cosmo Pro, State, and Salon Service Group. So you can go to those being a student. And with Paul Mitchell, we just kicked off Caper, and what Caper is so this year they're going to be in Disneyland, and it's basically like a big convention for Paul Mitchell students nationwide. And they have big master classes by top professionals in the Paul Mitchell system. You get to go to Disneyland. You get to learn things. I've never been because this is my first time going to cosmetology school, but from what I hear, it's really nice. And how to go is you have to sell so many bags of products, and that wins your way in. And also they encourage us to enter this national competition called Beacon, which I'll also put more information about both of those in the description box. But yeah, they try to really push you and encourage you to go above and beyond the standard of just going to school, playing in a doll head, and getting graduating and going to take your state board. So that's something that I really do like. I will say I do feel like I picked the right school. All of the learning leaders are fairly nice. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say there's no drama or issues, because every school is going to have drama and issues, especially if you put 140 females in one room or one building together for so long. But overall, I have a nice, I've had a nice experience there. I have learned a lot, and I'm just really excited to keep going. Oh, I also want to note that when you are a creative, you can either be phase 1 or phase 2. And phase 2 is just more fast-paced, more advanced, more salon. Like, you can view your schedule. You can, sometimes they might double book you, so you can get the feeling of having to multitask, like while one person's colors processing, I'm going to do a cut, stuff like that. Just, you know, ways to get more people in your chair and make more money in a day. We do not do pedicures, and the manicures we do are waterless, which means you're not really dipping your hands in water. We just kind of do cuticle care, massage your hands and arms with oil and buff, trim, shape, that type of stuff. We are not allowed to do acrylics on any guests that are in we can only use Paul Mitchell products at school, so don't be trying to bring your Gorilla Snot or your Eco Styler or your Shea Moisture, anything, because they will tell you you can't use it. And the same goes for tools as well. We can only use Paul Mitchell tools. And actually, while I'm at it, that goes for our uniform. We have to wear all black from head to toe. Unless you're in phase 2, you can also wear white, but you can't wear anything branded, meaning you can't have like a pink or Victoria's Secret or whatever. If you have any logo, it has to be a Paul Mitchell logo. So that goes for your uniform, tools, products, anything. It has to say Paul Mitchell, or it, like as far as uniform, it can't say anything at all. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of school so far. Again, I'm an adaptive. I will insert a few clips from core. That was back in April. I started April the 9th, and my graduation date is scheduled to be March the 9th, but I missed a few days. So actually, my date has been pushed back to March the 15th, but since you can make up hours, if you go to school and say you know you're going to be gone for a certain amount of time, you should let them know ahead of time, and you can like request off, and that won't hurt your attendance. But if you don't, they'll take that off of your attendance, and your attendance will go down. But they offer makeup hours, and depending on which schedule you have, that'll vary on when you can do those makeup hours. And since I'm on the topic of attendance, they have these little check-ins called SAPs, like standard, I don't know, whatever. But you have to have a certain GPA and a certain percentage for attendance in order to pass. And you have one at 450 hours, one at 900 hours, and one at 1200 hours. And if you fail 2 in a row, you lose your financial aid or something of that matter. But there are certain attendance, I believe, reasons that could get you terminated from the school also. I'm not 100% sure, but if you have any other questions or anything in regards to anything concerning cosmetology school or Paul Mitchell specifically, you can let me know in the comments, and I'll try to figure out the answer for you. But I think if your attendance falls below like 75 or something, you may get put on like a probation or something like that. Like, they have so many steps with this school. Like, when you go to school, like for the day, you have to clock in at the clock, then you have to go up to the front and sign in, and then after you sign in, you go to the learning zone and they call roll. And it's a lot of different redundant steps, but in the grand scheme of things, I think it's so they can protect you, because they have to clock our hours. And if you forget to sign in, or if you forget to clock in, they can say, oh, well, you were present at roll. So if you don't clock in, sign in, or you're not present at roll, and you know, they don't have proof that you were there. So it is, those are kind of those little silly things that are in place to protect everyone. So I get that, but it's kind of redundant. Like even after lunch, we have roll. And then when you leave, you clock out, but you don't have to sign out. So that's a good thing. Like I said, so far I'm having a really good time. I love the school. Most of the girls that go there are nice. I won't lie, it's a little cliquey around there, but like everyone says, you're there for one thing, and that's so you can graduate and get your license and go live your life. You're going to be with these people for 12 months. That's it. Some people you're going to be with even less time than that because they're going to be graduating quicker than you and whatnot. But yeah, just try to stay focused on that goal of learning and graduating. It's nice to make friends and build bonds with people because, again, networking is good and you never know what opportunities you're going to have. But just try to stay positive. Try not to feed into the negative stuff or the gossiping or the cliques, and just be willing and open to meet people and learn, and yeah, you'll have a good time. So I think that's it. Like I said again, if you have any questions, let me know down below in the description box. I'm lying. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments and I will get back to you. I will try to give you guys another update in a month or so after I become a creative, and I can let you know, yeah, how my journey's been going. Like I said, so far I've been having a really good time. But I wanted to show you guys the back of the worksheet, which looks like this. It's upside down. So this is what the back of the worksheet looks like. And here it just shows your different appointments. They like for you to keep track of your appointments, how many guests you have in your chair for the month, how many services you're doing, how much money those services are bringing in. And they give us a report. Actually, every month we get a report that shows how many guests we've seen, how much money we've made, what, you know, services in terms of chemical services, in terms of treatments, in terms of what products people are taking home that we're suggesting. And that's really beneficial to us because apparently a lot of girls in our area have gotten hired by salons just by showing them these reports, because you can say, this is how much work I've done, this is how much money I've made, this is how much product I've sold. I'm not really familiar with working for somebody in a salon because most of the people I knew that do hair either booth rent or yeah, they either booth rent, they rent a suite, or they own a salon. So I've never really, this is my first time dealing with being hired by a salon or talking about associate programs and stuff like that, which I will again save for another video. But it's nice that they're teaching us how to track things and how to keep up with things. And I think these are just a lot of different techniques and things that will set us up for success when we graduate. But other than that, I don't think I have anything else to show you. So I don't want this video to be super duper long. I think I'm gonna end it here. And yeah, thank you so much for giving me time and watching and listening to my experience and everything that I had to say. If you like what you've watched, let me know. If there's anything else you want to see, let me know. And please show some support and like the video and subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. And yeah, just have a blessed day, and I'll see you later. Bye.